Unearthing the truth about baby Emmanuel in this remote, shadowy terrain seems elusive. This is not where law enforcement efforts are focused, but rather the landfills. There is a possibility that his remains will be found before the next court date on October 16th, 2025.
And it's just very remote. There's not a lot of people that would walk through and stumble upon something you leave here, although there's probably a lot of wildlife here. So if you leave something that's going to decay and be, you know.
All right, listen real quick. I'm glad they're showing some of the search efforts. You guys can see the terrain. This is not like the terrain where you're looking out for the children, right? That you're looking for Jack and Lily, and you got to go out in these trees and this rugged terrain. It's not like that here, and not in that area. It's not like that in California in the high desert. Now, thank you for sending that, Just Josie. We do have a change.org, Pass Emmanuel's Law, Protect Children from Convicted Child Abusers. That's their link, guys. That's the link. So go over to change.org / all that. Do that. It's below. I dropped it in chat. That's how I did that. All right, Just Josie. So go over there and sign that to get that petition going. I can't help you on the grassroots effort. Yeah, that's Critter Country. Absolutely. Thank you, Jen Johnson. We always give memberships away. And we do a lot of merchandise and Foxy boxes.
Consumed by wildlife, that would probably happen.
Okay, so you mentioned wildlife. There's coyotes. There's other wildlife out here. Will the baby ever be located?
You know, this is, at 7 months old, he's a very small child. Animals consume very voraciously here, so he could be consumed fairly easily and quickly, unfortunately. Things in this hot sun.
And I wonder what this is about. Why the hell did he even take them out there to that area if they're looking in a landfill? What does that even mean? What's up, Justice Jane? And D's, it's 100. We need 9 more likes and we can give away another Foxy Bucks. Thank you, Just Josie. I appreciate that. All right. Emailed the law to your email. Hopefully it did go through, but I posted a different one on my Ghost platform. So thank you.
Really decay quickly.
But would the cadaver dogs have picked that up? They were out here.
Sure, cadaver dogs would certainly pick up something like that. They were here, but also you can see how vast this area is. Unless they're right on the scent, and you can feel the wind.
Well, listen what they're saying. This is the leak that's coming through. Let me tell you right now, what law enforcement is leaking out or trying to say is that listen, 2 things. While Jake Haro was in his jail cell and he was telling another inmate, a fake inmate during the Perkins law, he was giving them information about where baby Emmanuel was, but there's a possibility that he also leaked information while they were doing the search to those people that were in the search effort about where baby Emmanuel might be, where part of him might be, or where some of them what he committed the crime with may be at the landfill. So that's why they're looking at the landfill, because he did talk to these people while he was out searching. And I just can't understand why why he took them out there and they didn't get anything. Is he dumb? Does he not know where they put Emmanuel? I mean, that's a vast difference from there to the landfill. Were they counting on the wildlife to do their work? I don't know. I hope not. And we only need 9 more. Yeah, they did that whole effort and did nothing. It doesn't make sense.
Blowing today, unless they're right on the scent. This is a vast area to search, even with dogs. So you have to have specific information that drives you here.
Jake Haro was brought out here by investigators, but it didn't appear that he was actively searching or participating. So why bring him out here?
That's a great question. Why they brought Jake Haro out here is still a mystery. The only reason that you normally see a person brought out is if they have information that's going to benefit you in your search. So that means the information would come from them. Other than that, if they had, say, electronic information, say his cell phone hit here and they analyzed the cell phone data, that could drive you.
But he was also talking to them while he was out there, and law enforcement is saying that he gave them hints of where baby Emmanuel's remains, or maybe maybe they had a blanket, or maybe they used the sawzall, maybe they took that and threw it away. Something they're looking for at that site, on the landfill site. Also, I was going to say something else and it totally escaped me. Baby Haro. Oh yes, Carol G. Baby Haro was always laying down in the pictures. He should have been able to sit up, and that's why I believe the parents said that he was not developing properly, and one of his eyes went outward. I think that was by the child abuse. Number one. Number two, I said that a lot of times when people leave their baby laying down, they get flat head. Have you ever seen a baby that has a really flat head in the back? That's because somebody, like parents, will just lay them down all day after giving birth. They put them in a car seat. They go from a car seat back to their crib, back to their crib, back to the baby jumper thing, and their head is flat. That's what I believe happened to baby Emmanuel. When I did see another picture from a different side, I think that he had a flat head because of that. Yeah, the car seat head. Thank you. Thank you, simply Leanne. I love getting you guys coming out of the bushes and talking with me. Yeah, Jake is a demon in my opinion, right?
Here, but if he's not cooperating with the investigation, why bring him here? And really, you can't force someone in custody
Right, that's
to come
what I'm
out to
saying.
the field with you. He
Why
had
bring
to have
him?
agreed to come out. Now, he may have agreed
Exactly.
and knew he wasn't going to give them any kind of pertinent information, but you can't force somebody like that out here. So he was out here
Ding, ding, ding.
voluntarily, in
Yep.
a manner of speaking. But
Yep.
he, during the course of that, he didn't look like he was directing him anywhere. In the footage that I saw, he wasn't
But he
pointing
was
anywhere. He
talking.
wasn't leading them anywhere. He was just kind of standing with the investigators.
So it's
as
to
the-
get his reaction, maybe?
maybe to get his reaction. I don't know. They brought him out here. Maybe if they thought he was close, he would kind of get emotional or break down. It is his son after
Yep.
all. So I mean, maybe that's what they were doing, but certainly it wasn't fruitful, whatever it was.
Do you think that he's maybe participating or being brought out to more?
We're trying to focus on the case at hand, Deborah. We love you, but it's hard to explain what Turtle Island is in chat. So Turtle Island is like a virtual kind of game that true crime creators it's supposed to be. Turtle Island is a game played on Dolly Vision, and Guilty of Crime is on it. All right, I don't want to make you feel like you can't, like we're not explaining it, but it's hard to explain it in chat. Voices carry this whole thing pisses me off. They need to tell where baby Emmanuel is, and we don't want a plea deal without finding him, guys. We do not, because if they give him a plea deal without the remains, it's not gonna be the amount of time we want. And yes, D's, we got 202 likes, baby. Montana Mystic says, you know what happened to the baby, and it's beyond anything in our normal brain can process. They will not find the remains, you say. I hope they find something, though. If it's not the remains, I hope they find something that's linked to the remains. All right. Rose, good to see you. Hello. Shout out. Nikki says, I have ADHD. I have such a hard thing, and these times get distracted. You're welcome, Deborah. I never, ever, ever want you guys to feel like I'm ignoring you. Sometimes people will send me an email and they feel real bad about themselves, or they're upset with Jay from Guilty of Crime for not replying. I promise, guys, I'm not mad at any of you ever. And if I were, I would tell you. All right. So don't be upset by me. I just have a lot. I do a lot every day. I work a full-time job. I have a 10-year-old daughter, a 25-year-old needy son, a needy wife, a needy boss, and a bunch of lovely crime crew mods and friends. Right? I talk to at least all 4 mods all day long, and everybody else. So never mistake me not talking back. It just means I'm busy. But I love you guys. All right. Yes, tell us, boss lady. It's just how it is. I run a mechanical engineering company for the last 18 years in Silicon Valley, and then I do this show. So just much love to you guys. I do my best.
Searches. Investigators are being very tight-lipped as to where they're going next.
Yeah, that's kind of odd that they wouldn't have released the information that led them here. Because if it was really good information, they often enlist the help of the community. You can have community, you have people out here searching. We've all seen that, elbow to elbow, arm in arm, walking through woods, walking through areas like this, trying to find and help law enforcement. But for some reason, they did not do that in this case. So they either ruled out this area completely very quickly, or they're waiting to get further, more specific information to get them closer to a place, because it's so vast out here. Unless you have much more specific information, it's less than a needle in a haystack.
In your experience,
less than a needle in a haystack, and especially when you got these idiots out there, and maybe, and I'm calling Jake the idiot. Maybe Jake just wanted to like point them in the wrong direction so they didn't find the body, and that he can decompose even further so there won't be enough evidence to, you know, put him on life without parole. Or California does have the death penalty, but they just never do it. 4 mods are Carly, Synth, Foxy, and Tiff. Carly is my channel manager, and she's usually here in the bushes, but I still talk to her all day long. All right, yeah. That's why when you see my original logo, it's J with a cape, because I have to be Super J to get all this done. Montana Mystic says, I pray the evidence is found. They went to lengths to dispose of the remains. No 7-month-old don't walk away. Nobody walks away. None of the autistic children, none of the abused children, nobody just walks away and disappears.
So you've taken part in a lot of investigations like this in your career as FBI. Where do you think they are now in their investigation? Where might they be looking next?
I think they're poring over the electronic data at this point, the cell phone data, the cell tower information, matching it up to that timeline. When little baby Emmanuel disappeared, and they're trying to find out electronically those steps that they took. They probably have done all the interviews that they're going to do with friends and family and anybody else that was associated with this to find out, you know, if they knew anything.
Hey, that's a good, that didn't even click right now. Maybe, and maybe, big maybe, guys, listen, they haven't released any of that information yet. Maybe they do have some pings of the area that they went in the dump site. Maybe they do have pings and they're looking, that may be how they're looking in a specific area in the landfill with the pings from either one of their phones, because that landfill is too big to just be looking everywhere. Damn, that's a good assumption.